Australian Shepherds are stunning looking dogs whose work ethic cannot be matched and whose looks make them a beautiful dog to show off to your friends. But they aren't always the best choice for a family pet and can surprise potential owners by some of the potential pitfalls that can come with this breed. So here are the top 5 things that you might want to watch out for with an Australian Shepherd. Australian Shepherds are one of the smartest dog breeds you will ever come across and have an insane work ethic if you give them a job to do. It's not a surprise given their history as ranch and working dogs across America in the 19th century. All dogs love routines, rules and roles to perform, and the Australian Shepherd excels at all of these. But while this is great if you've got a 100-acre wood or a cattle farm for them to roam around and call home, it can start to cause potential problems when we bring them into a domestic setting. All dogs need some kind of mental exercise over the day, but Australian Shepherds need more than most other breeds. Snuffle mats, licky toys, frozen Kongs, puzzle feeders, these are all things you might need if you want to live with one of these stunning dogs. You'll need to make sure you've got a good list of games that you can play so that they have a variety of ways to burn off some of that excess energy and to help them stay calm and relaxed around the house. Another trait left over from their days on the ranch is their guarding instincts. It wasn't uncommon to see an Australian Shepherd rounding up cattle in the day and then patrolling the grounds at night to ward off predators and poachers. How this translates to the present day though is that Australian Shepherds can often end up reacting to the doorbell and at worst herding children. Behaviours like this need addressing quickly and nipping in the bud as soon as possible, so you need to make sure that you train your Australian Shepherd, but if you do have them with children, make sure that the children are confident with the dog as well. Some people will even advise to maybe not have an Australian Shepherd with young kids, so it's best to maybe wait until they're a little bit older for everybody else's safety. If you want to stay up to date with our training tips and all of our videos, we'd love it if you could click that subscribe button while you're here. One of the main draws to an Australian Shepherd can often be their amazing and piercing eyes. They come in a variety of colours and can even be mismatched within the same dog. But what can be an attractive reason to have one of these animals can also be a source of health issues further down the road. Cataracts are quite common in Australian Shepherds and can't really be prevented or avoided. So it's important to make sure that you check their eyes often, get them used to eye drops and take them to the vet regularly, especially if they start to become cloudy or have a kind of bluey grey colour to them. But it's really not too much of a chore to have to spend so much time looking into the eyes of such a handsome dog. Now, Australian Shepherds can be a lot more expensive than a lot of other dog breeds, and that's in addition to the costs that any dog will need. If you want some more info on that, we've got a whole video about the cost of owning your dog that will hopefully give you an idea of what you're letting yourself in for. But Australian Shepherds are not only more expensive to get from pure breeders themselves, but Australian Shepherds are going to have more added on top. A purebred Australian Shepherd can easily range from £2,500 to £3,000, which is a hefty amount before you've even bought your first bag of food for them. Then there's your insurances on top, and the more expensive your dog, the more expensive the insurance is going to be. The cost will soon rack up, so it's always a good idea to make sure you know roughly how much you're going to spend before you get one. Australian Shepherds have a lovely looking double coat that comes with all the usual problems that you would expect from a medium to long haired dog. A quick once over with just one brush every now and again is not going to cut it for these guys. You'll need to invest in at least 2 different grooming brushes, one for each layer of their coat, and groom them regularly and often to make sure that their fur stays unmatted and pest free. Regular trips to the groomers do wonders for any dog, not just for keeping them clean, but for keeping them socialised as well. So you'll definitely need to allow plenty of time to keep your Aussie looking their best. I'm certainly not trying to put you off having an Australian Shepherd, far from it. There are reasons that the Australian Shepherd's popularity is rising all across the world. They can be incredible companions, and they are utter workhorses if you give them the right job in the right environment. But part of our mission here at SkoolDoggery is to make sure that people have all the information that they need to make a truly informed decision before bringing any dog into their home. If you don't know what you're expecting and you bring in an Australian Shepherd with no training plan and no idea, you will soon have a Tasmanian devil tearing up your living room and herding your children into a corner at every chance it gets. But if you can be aware of the problems and deal with them as soon as possible, Australian Shepherds can be amazing and will improve the life of anyone that they come into contact with. We'd love to hear your stories about your Australian Shepherds down in the comments below. It really means a lot to us when people take the time to leave a comment and make it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Until next time, look after yourselves and your dogs.